So next up, we have Doug Adamson from Real Time Data, and he's going to give a presentation on reducing the development costs of data collection solutions. So nice welcome for Adam.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we wait for the presentation to come up. I'm hanging around. We don't have a booth, but I'm more than happy to give lots of demonstrations on our product. So, excuse me. So we all know that there are collection challenges with data. It's difficult, it's complex, and there are lots of different requirements for fishermen to collect data. And it's often lost or inaccurate because it's haphazardly done. And there's no common data models that exist uniformly across the ways of collecting data in fisheries. So then, to deliver impact at scale, which is a theme of the conference, it becomes difficult. So that means it's expensive to build data collection applications from the ground up. So what's our approach? Our approach has been to say, okay, we need to understand fishermen first and what they actually wanted to do, what they do out on the water when they're collecting information that's important to their business. We said we have to have a global vision for what's involved, and it has to be configurable and customizable, both internal and external developers. That's a really important point. So what we did, we separated out the actual platform itself, which is called Deckhand, and the application development workflow system, which is called Catchflow. Next slide, a bit technical, but the key thing that makes this so flexible is that there is no fixed data schema that we have to conform to. So whatever the fisherman wants to create, or what his requirements are, can be developed using our internal system called Catchflow. So we can do all sorts of things in terms of custom menus, activities, forms, and reports, and then send them to lots of different places. So our view is, a fisherman only should collect data once, but using Deckhand, it enables them to send to multiple different endpoints. So the fisherman collects their inputs, and because it's on a platform that collects both the time and the geolocation, that then goes into Deckhand, and we can create the reports that are required and send them off to multiple different endpoints. So what that means, it becomes cost effective to make data collection applications specific to fishermen's requirements really quite quickly. So we're a global platform, but it's been deployed locally. We've got over 600 customers in 4 countries. I'm just going to take you through some very, very quick case studies of 5 of the 7 workflows that we've developed in the last 7 months. So this is what Deckhand looks like when you get it. On the left-hand side is what we call the event screen. On the right-hand 2/3 is either maps or data entry. This particular workflow application is for the Gulf of Alaska halibut, and this was to replace their paper logbook with an electronic version. So I won't take you through all the screens because that would involve really eating into lunch. That's not going to happen. So those of you that are used to electronic logbooks, you can see this is the kind of data that gets put into a logbook, only has to be entered once, and the system remembers it. When the halibut fishers start setting their lines, again, information, some of which is automatically populated, including the start set position. And on the left-hand side, we're starting to see events happen. So we continue setting, and the map screen comes up, and because there's a GPS inside the unit, it actually shows a track for where the actual fisherman is going. So another example of something that's useful to the fisherman. So when they want to haul the set, again, it's got the date and time, it's got automatically generated lat and long, target species, all sorts of other information that they can enter really quickly. When they go to deliver, here's a delivery report, date and time, their fish ticket number, and their registered buyer, and so on, and they confirm that. And eventually what comes out is an electronic version that looks exactly the same as their paper logbook. So from the fisherman's point of view, this, in the Gulf of Alaska halibut fleet, has saved them thousands and thousands of hours because they actually, in the paper logbook, have to write down their lat and long every time they drop a line in the ocean or they haul a set. So that's just one example, and that could be sent off to an endpoint or hopefully next year an API. So that's that general flow. On to another one. This is the Greater Atlantic region on the east coast of the US. You can see the platform looks the same, but this is now tailored for the Greater Atlantic region. I won't go through the whole logbook. I just did want to show you one thing that's important in there to demonstrate the flexibility, is that we talked to fishermen about what's in their logbooks, and they said, maintenance. I have a different logbook for that. Why don't we put it all in this platform? So again, in this particular workflow, we have got a maintenance record that shows the engine name, the engine numbers, oil change history, filter types, and a whole raft of additional information the skipper can record about the maintenance of the vessel. We also have a validation system where reports get submitted. There's a little green icon on the screen. So I just wanted to show you that as an example. So here's a different workflow. This is in South Australia for pippies. Pippies are small clams. They get harvested from the beach on a big long beach in South Australia. You notice that some of them said go fishing, some of them said start logbook, but again, all those things are customisable. So in this particular workflow, the pippy fishermen are allowed to actually translocate the undersized pippies that they catch to a different drop zone down the beach. So that's all the Ds on the map. So you can see they're then able to translocate them. Just to give an idea, that's how they harvest pippies, up to their knees and thighs in water with the rakes. And that guy there is the co-founder of Real-Time Data. Again, with them, it's a different kind of landing report and different kind of summaries get produced. Still on the same platform, customised to exactly the fisher's requirements. So that's that workflow. We've done this in Spanish in Costa Rica. So again, here's a Spanish version. It was converted very easily into Spanish. I'm not very good at Spanish, but it's a similar kind of logbook application. The thing that's interesting here is we've incorporated photos into the logbook. So again, that was one of the requirements of the fishermen. They wanted to take photos. And so that's that one. Last but not least, a completely different workflow that was done for a seafood processor in Alaska, where they have tender vessels that supply food, fuel and groceries over the rail to their catcher vessels that bring in a salmon into the tender vessels, and they exchange these food and fuel and groceries over the rail, typically done with a paper record. So there were in this seafood processor's example, there were 7,000 invoices that had to be reconciled. So we built them a workflow that was all about how to record what food, fuel and groceries and other things were recorded. Again, I won't go through all of these screens. I can give people much fuller demonstrations if they'd like during the next couple of days. But that's the kind of things that were in the database that was associated with it. But this automatically generated an invoice. So no longer did they have to reconcile 7,000 invoices. They were able to use this as their methodology to actually save them a huge amount of time, energy and effort. So that's that particular one. Most of these applications took 4 to 8 weeks to develop. It was really highly efficient. So we believe it's the use of a platform like ours can significantly reduce the time and effort. And it solves the problem of complex data collection. So There's lots of different things that fishermen have to do. Most fishermen that I know don't like doing compliance, but it's a necessary evil. But if we can provide value by having additional features in the product that fishermen do value, then it's something that they are prepared to pay for or support. That's our company vision. We believe oceans should be sustainable. Fishermen need to have a profitable income. It's got to be easy to collect data, and we've built a global platform at scale. Thank you.